But Jordan Poole, you heard about that rumor? You heard what's going on
Yeah.
there? $80 million contract extension is
Wow.
is Jordan Poole going to re-sign on that type of deal? Is it a good one for the Warriors, or does it take them too over like the tax, too far over? Because like they're already, I think, ahead of the next best team by like 10 or 20 million over that luxury tax. Signing Poole, you're like 30 to 40 million over the next best team.
I don't know if you do that.
Really?
I don't know if you pay him that. Like, don't give me like, and when I say it for this player, it would be a plus if they keep Jordan Poole on the Warriors because I think he complements their structure so well. But for $80 million, that's a tough. It's tough because if you look at the current structure of Golden State now, they still got Wiseman, they got Kuminga. That's eventually, if he keeps growing, he's probably gonna get paid too. And they got a couple of other names that's probably gonna get some dollars. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to just give him just 80, like to get locked in like that, unless the Warriors know something we don't, that they got some in play.
Yeah. The way I kind of see it is are the Warriors preparing for the future in terms of they're probably sitting back and they're like, hold on a second. After this season, we'll have Clay on 2 years, Steph on 2 years. I think it is. I could be wrong on these. Draymond on 2 years. And think about it. All of these guys will be end of their primes, most likely, like out of their primes by the time their contracts are done. You'd think chances are these guys are Warriors, through all the way. They're going to take potential pay cuts, right? How many years are you actually going to be like this severely over the luxury tax? Like, how many years are you going to be severely over it? Especially like if you make these moves, who knows how many of these players are going to want in the future. But Jordan Poole, he could be that type of guy that in 2 years' time, he's their new starting shooting guard, averaging 20 points per game. I mean, when Clay was injured this year, he was averaging 18 a game behind, Steph Curry and on similar type with Andrew Wiggins. This guy has the potential to average 20 plus in his career. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Or here's the other one, which I saw someone suggest. If you sign him to 20 million a year and you've got James Wiseman on 10 million, right? And you throw in some picks, you're realistically matching up Karl Anthony Towns' contract. And if the Timberwolves suck next year and Cat wants out, that's not a whole lot to give up for a dude that's averaging 25 plus per game, 40% from three, all-star. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I'm more on the side of they're going to be signing Poole 20 million plus a year to keep him for the future, because I think they're going to go with Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, James Wiseman. I think they're all looking at these guys and they're saying, all of you are going to be starting soon. You know what I mean? You guys are going to be the future starters. And realistically, it's possible that a couple of them do. So I want to know, what do you think? Is that right to say that? Or are the Warriors still overpaying?
Honestly, I can see where you're coming from when you say just sign those young guys just to have them ready, because eventually Curry, Draymond, and Clay is going to have to pass the torch. But the only reason I'm kind of like iffy about it is because I'm looking at it and it's like the Golden State Warriors is second seed in the Western Conference, right? Golden State right now is still good enough to win a title.
Yeah.
And if Golden State can make one more push, one more legitimate push, and if that means, because arguably they might not even have to make a Karl Anthony Town trade to get there. They can possibly make it this season.
Yeah.
Depending on if Draymond comes back in time, James Wiseman play, etc. But if Golden State don't have faith in James Wiseman and they feel like Karl Anthony Towns brings in more space in it, then of course you can get a budget rim protector. Like you can somehow get JaVale McGee to get.
That is, oh my God. I was literally just about to say JaVale McGee.
Like you can get JaVale McGee back, and he knows y'all system, and you back in it. And offensively, y'all are the best 3-point shooting team ever, right? So it's like, and you still got a lot of, and which people don't recognize, you still got a lot of good names on your roster, because that means even if you did trade, like you said, James
Poole?
Wiseman
James
and Jordan
Wiseman,
Poole,
yeah.
you still got Kuminga left,
And
you
Moses
still
Moody.
got Yeah, you still got your bench is still loaded. Like
You still
this
got
is
young
why
players
people,
like all around.
yeah, and you still got a lot of your picks still too. So even if your intent was to pass the torch, you still can do that while making a push for another title.
I completely agree.
So I think Golden State, I think they're gonna see what happens this season.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think the Warriors could really win a ring this season.
If they don't win a ring, though, do you think they'll look more at trading Poole for Cat, or because I think if they win the ring or make it to the finals and do well in the finals, then they're keeping Jordan Poole for the future. Like they're not trading him at all. But if they somehow bum out in the playoffs and they realize, hold on a second, we actually need a center here.
Yeah, they're gonna make a move.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a blockbuster because they got that new arena. They want to make sure those seats is filled out. And to a degree, they still got their players in their prime. It might be at the end of their primes, but they still got just enough years to pull off 1 or 2 more rings.
Yeah.
And I think you got to capture this opportunity if you're Golden State.
And Cat's just entering his prime now. Like, what is he, 26, 27? Bro, he's got years left. He's got years left in his prime. That's like, I don't think it's an issue at all to maybe think of Jordan Poole for Cat. But I know Warriors fans will disagree. I know they won't want to trade Jordan Poole. But let's be real, you're not getting Cat for Moses Moody, James Wiseman, and 3 picks. They're going to want to do like Jordan Poole, rather, who can be that future player for the Timberwolves and partner him alongside Anthony Edwards. But I don't think that's going to happen either.